Welcome back to Gunman Ballistic. When it comes to self-defense, especially as we rack up more birthdays and a little more wisdom, the conversation usually points to modern semi-autos. They're sleek. They carry plenty of rounds. They're the cutting edge. But that cutting edge can cut both ways. Slides that feel stiff as a car jack. Magazines that fight you on every single round. Or the nagging thought, what if this thing malfunctions when I need it most? That's why today we're parking the semi-autos. Instead, we're taking a hard look at a timeless solution. A system that runs simple, fires every time, and has kept people safe for more than a century. This video is titled, Forget Semi-Autos. These 8 revolvers are built for seniors who want to stay safe. What you'll see is a hand-picked lineup of wheelguns that shine in 3 areas: ease of use, controllable recoil, and the kind of confidence that comes from proven designs. If you're the type that values practical, no-nonsense advice and firearms that actually work when you need them, you're in the right place. Now let's get rolling. Number 7. Smith & Wesson, 642 and 442. Kicking off at number 7, we've got an American classic, the Smith & Wesson J-frame. Specifically, the model 642 and its twin, the 442. If you close your eyes and picture a snub-nose revolver, odds are you're seeing a J-frame. The family tree goes all the way back to the 1950s with the Chief's Special, built for detectives who needed a deep concealment sidearm that simply worked. Fast forward to today, and the 642 and 442 carry that legacy forward. Both are built on an aluminum alloy frame, chambered for .38 Special, and rated for +P loads. The only real difference? Finish. The 642 wears a matte silver stainless cylinder and barrel. The 442 stays low profile in matte black. The standout feature is the enclosed hammer. Hammerless, snag-free, and built to draw smooth from a pocket or a purse without catching on clothing. That one design choice eliminates a failure point under stress. Why is it on this list? Because it's the gold standard of concealed carry revolvers. Lightweight at just 15 ounces, backed by 70 years of refinement, and supported by an aftermarket that covers grips, holsters, and sights in every flavor you can imagine. On the plus side, you get a carry piece that's compact, easy to conceal, and battle-tested. On the downside, the light frame means recoil with defensive ammo is sharp, and the double-action-only trigger is intentionally heavy, safer in the pocket, but harder for weaker hands. Price-wise, MSRP sits around $530, with real street prices usually in the $450 to $500 range. Number 6. Ruger LCR in .38. Special sliding into the number 6 spot is Ruger's LCR, the lightweight compact revolver. Introduced in 2009, it broke every mold. Instead of a full metal frame, Ruger built a hybrid. Polymer fire control housing, aluminum monolithic frame, stainless steel cylinder. It wasn't a gimmick, it was a revolution in snub-nose design. That change gave Ruger 2 big wins. First, weight just 13.5 ounces. Second, the trigger. They engineered a cam-based system that delivers one of the smoothest, most consistent double-action pulls ever found on a factory snub. No stacking, no grit. Just glass smooth. And that's the LCR's superpower. It's a revolver that makes accuracy easier, even for shooters who struggle with heavy trigger pulls. That's why it's one of the best options for seniors who want confidence without a fight. Upsides: the best-in-class trigger, a polymer frame that soaks up a little recoil, and a replaceable front sight you can swap in fiber optics or night sights without a gunsmith. Downsides? Looks. Some folks can't get past the space-age aesthetic, and just like any ultralight, recoil is still brisk. MSRP runs about $739, but you'll usually see it on shelves in the $550 to $600 range. Number 5. Smith & Wesson, Model 60. At number 5, we step back into the world of classic steel with the Smith & Wesson Model 60. This isn't just another revolver, it's a landmark in handgun history. Back in 1965, Smith & Wesson rolled out the very first production revolver built entirely from stainless steel. It was a direct evolution of the Chief's Special, only now it carried the kind of rust resistance that sweaty holsters in humid climates could never beat down. From the jump, both law enforcement and civilian carriers jumped on board. Unlike the alloy frame snubs we've covered, this one is solid stainless from end to end. That bumps the weight up to around 22 ounces. Sure, that extra weight makes it heavier to haul all day, but on the firing line, that mass is your best friend. It soaks up recoil, especially with 38 Special Plus P. Instead of getting punished by a featherweight, you get a revolver that's steady, controllable, and comfortable enough to run box after box. This is the Wheelgun for shooters who tried an ultralight snub and walked away saying, "Never again." The Model 60 solves that recoil problem. It's a gun that actually makes you want to practice. And a revolver you practice with is one you'll be proficient with when it counts. Pros: recoil management and shootability. It's durable. It's pleasant to fire. And in some trims, it's chambered for .357 Magnum if you want that extra horsepower. Cons: weight. It's noticeably heavier than an alloy frame pocket revolver, which makes it less forgiving for all-day carry. Price tag? MSRP hovers around $880. On the street, you're looking more like $750 to $800. Number 4. Ruger SP-101. Sitting at number 4 is a revolver with a reputation carved in stone, the Ruger SP-101. When Ruger launched this model in 1989, the mission was clear. Build a small frame revolver that was flat out indestructible. They nailed it. The SP-101 is forged from solid stainless with thicker top straps, beefier frame rails, and internals designed to digest a steady diet of .357 Magnum. Pick it up, and you'll feel the heft about 26 ounces for the 2¼ inch model. It feels like a brick of steel in your hand. Now here's where it gets interesting. While most buyers think Magnum powerhouse, the true genius for seniors comes in a different flavor, .327 Federal Magnum. That chambering changes the game. Instead of 5 rounds, you get 6. That's a 20% capacity boost. And the cartridge itself offers performance that rivals or beats 38 Special Plus P, but with noticeably less recoil. This is where the Ruger shines. An overbuilt frame combined with a smart cartridge equals durability, softer recoil, and confidence shot after shot. The upsides? Nearly bomb-proof construction. Recoil that's easier to manage than you'd expect, and an extra round in the cylinder. The downsides? Weight. At 1.5 pounds, this isn't something you forget you're carrying. And out of the box, Ruger triggers can be on the heavy side, though they smooth out with use or a little tuning. MSRP usually runs around $979. Real-world street prices tend to fall in the $750 to $850 range. Number 3. Colt King Cobra. Carry cracking into the top 3. We get into premium territory with the Colt King Cobra carry. Colt snake guns, Python, Cobra, Anaconda. These names carry serious weight in the revolver world. Beautiful finishes, legendary actions. And for years, they were out of production, just whispered about at gun shows. Then Colt brought them back. The King Cobra carry is one of the standouts. It's a 6-shot revolver chambered in .357 Magnum, built from stainless steel, but sized down for concealed carry. Bigger than a J-frame, more hand-filling than a Ruger LCR, but still compact enough for defensive use. The real headline here is the trigger. Colt engineered a linear leaf spring system that gives you a silky smooth double-action pull and a single-action brake that's crisp and clean. Pair that with a factory Hogue overmold grip, and you've got a revolver that just begs to be shot. For seniors, that matters. A good trigger and comfortable grip aren't luxuries, they're essentials. They're the difference between a gun that fights you and a gun that works with you. This revolver earns its place on the list because it doesn't need upgrades. It's ready right out of the box. A premium shooting experience wrapped in Colt heritage. The pros? Excellent trigger. 6 rounds of .357 Magnum. And ergonomics that inspire confidence. The cons? Price and size. It's larger and heavier than a pocket revolver at about 28 ounces, so think belt holster, not pocket carry. And you're paying a premium. MSRP sits right around $999. Street prices hover in the $900 to $1,000 range. Number 2. Smith & Wesson. Model 686. Plus, coming in at number 2, we step up into a different league of revolvers. This one is the Smith & Wesson Model 686 Plus with a 3-inch barrel. The 686 is not a pocket revolver. It's built on Smith & Wesson's L-frame designed back in the 1980s specifically to run a steady diet of .357 Magnum without beating itself apart like the older K-frames sometimes did. Strength was the whole point. The Plus designation tells you it holds 7 rounds instead of 6. That extra cartridge matters when the pressure is on. And that 3-inch barrel is the perfect middle ground. It gives you more sight radius and more velocity than a snub nose, while still staying balanced and maneuverable indoors. With 38 Special loaded in this steel frame, the weight 37 ounces soaks up recoil until it feels more like a gentle push than a sharp snap. That inspires confidence. It's the kind of revolver you can fire repeatedly, under stress, and never feel punished for pulling the trigger. The 686 Plus lands at number 2 because for home defense, where weight doesn't matter, it's just about ideal. 7 rounds, excellent accuracy, soft recoil, all wrapped in a platform that has proven itself for decades. The advantage is obvious capacity, controllability, and sheer shootability. The drawback is just as clear: it's too heavy and too large for most concealed carry roles. This is a nightstand or vehicle revolver. MSRP is about $980, with real-world prices usually between $850 and $950. Number 1. Ruger LCRx in .22 Magnum. Now we reach the top of the list, and this pick might surprise a few people. Number 1 is the Ruger LCRx with a 3-inch barrel chambered in .22 Magnum. Here's why. Every other revolver we've covered tried to tame recoil through heavier frames or milder centerfire loads. But for shooters dealing with arthritis, weak grip strength, or just extreme sensitivity, even a mild 38 Special can still be too much. That's where the .22 Magnum LCRx shines. It's based on Ruger's polymer frame LCR design, but the X adds an exposed hammer and that longer 3-inch barrel. The gun weighs only 17 ounces, recoil is nearly non-existent, and the barrel length gives the .22 Magnum the velocity it needs, while also extending the sight radius for real accuracy gains. The exposed hammer lets you cock it for a crisp single-action shot when precision matters most. Capacity is 6 rounds, and because the recoil is so minimal, this revolver is shootable by just about anyone. That's the key. The Ruger LCRx earns the top spot because it embraces the fundamental truth. The best defensive gun is the one you can actually run with confidence. Power is meaningless if you're afraid of the recoil and won't practice. This revolver eliminates that barrier. The pros: lightweight, vanishing recoil, a 6-shot cylinder, and dual-action versatility. The cons: rimfire ammunition is still less reliable than centerfire, and the .22 Magnum doesn't carry the raw energy of a 38 or .357. But with modern defensive loads like Spear Gold Dot or Hornady Critical Defense, it's a very capable round. MSRP runs about $739, with street prices often between $575 and $625. And that wraps up the countdown. 7 revolvers that prove simplicity and reliability are still king, especially for shooters who need comfort and control above all else. From budget-friendly workhorses to refined stainless classics, every revolver on this list offers a practical defensive option tailored to real-world needs. The lesson here isn't about horsepower, it's about confidence. The best firearm is the one you'll actually train with, the one you'll trust when it matters most. Now I want to hear from you. Which revolver do you keep on your hip, in your glove box, or by your bedside? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Your experience helps the entire community grow stronger. If you found this breakdown useful, do me a favor: hit like, subscribe, and comment below. This is Gunman Ballistic, signing off. Stay safe, stay sharp, and I'll see you next time on the range.